So I'm just going to go through a bit of a case study on Price is Right. As I said before, I think Price is Right has a lot of the really good elements for a social game. Price is Right is one of the longest running game shows in the US. There's some very, very avid fans. People are obsessed with this show. So we knew from the beginning, or I'd say our partner Ludio, because they're the ones who chose this brand, they knew from the beginning that there would be a core audience who would love this game no matter what. They really faithfully translated the TV show. They did have to make some tweaks, obviously. But they didn't turn it into a Price is Right farming game. They made it an episodic game. They had Contestants Row, which is the classic part of the beginning of the game show. They had the Showcase Showdown, where you sort of compete for the big prize. But they were able also to keep people, even if you didn't make it to the Showcase Showdown in the game, you can still play along and do other things. So they were quite clever about how they made that translation. What I really like about this game is there's a lot of liquidity in the game. It's a multiplayer game. It's one of the first really well-working multiplayer games on Facebook, I think. And you can play not just with your Facebook friends, but you can play with any users. So it automatically matches you up with people. And actually, Uno did this much earlier on, and I think to some success. There was a big focus on community from the very start. The chat rooms, we think that helps retention. Price is Right has always been a very community-based game. We have a live version of Price is Right in Vegas where people kind of jump around and clap and run onto the stage. You can't quite have the same effect on Facebook, but people do love chatting about the game, and I think that's an important thing to translate over, and maybe it helps virality. So the result, we're very pleased with the monetization of the game. I think for this kind of game, it's much higher than we expected. We do want to grow the DAUs and MAUs more, and we're going to be looking at how to do that in the next few months. So monetization strategy. As I've said before, this is an episode-based game. So you're paying for episodes, and you've got to be quite smart about how you encourage people to do that. You want to give people free episodes, just like you give people free stuff in a farming game, but you don't want to do that too much so that they don't buy episodes. And we played around a lot in the beginning, and I think we did this with Family Feud as well, as to how much you want people to play a few free games, how much you want them to buy. With all the cash that they're winning in the game, they can buy new episodes, but you don't want them to win too much cash, otherwise they won't buy episodes. We did a lot of testing around this. We found that special offers work extremely well in encouraging people to buy coins to play the game. So it's 2 coins to play a game, but then, say on Halloween, we had a discount of sort of 50% off a $10 pack of coins. That increased monetization for that day by 200%. And we missed it this year, but when we saw the big low over Thanksgiving, as I'm sure many of you did if you have games, what we should have done is probably just done a big campaign with a discount on the Monday after Thanksgiving. I think we would have seen a similar result. We've actually had really good results on the offer wall with Super Awards. We had about 30% increase in revenue from installing that offer wall. And we tried a few other things first, but that was really the best performer. As we saw in the previous presentation, we're using Wild Tangent. We're very pleased with that result. We've got 20% uplift in revenues. And it works particularly well for Price is Right, because Price is Right is all about guessing the prices of products. So product placement on the game is kind of a no-brainer. We are actually going to introduce subscriptions probably in the next month or so. I think subscriptions are a very tricky area. But once you have a loyal audience that's kind of obsessed, you can probably turn a few people into, $6 a month or something. We haven't actually decided the pricing, but I think that'll be very interesting to see if it works. And our daily ARPU, I think for this kind of game, I think 6 cents per user per day is not bad. In terms of paid acquisition, like I'm sure everyone is doing here, we're constantly testing, measuring, and optimizing our marketing. We're plugging in the leaks in the funnel of the game. We're constantly trying to figure out which user gives us the best ROI. And at the moment, not surprisingly, it's a female audience. They're 90% of our installs, and they're much cheaper in terms of marketing, 3 times cheaper. They're quite old, 35 to 50. And I think this is not unusual, but we target players of similar games, obviously, who wouldn't. We get quite interesting cross-promotion between Price is Right and Family Feud, and obviously friends of players. So friends who aren't connected to the game. So friends of friends it's something that a lot of people are doing at the moment, but it works very well for us. And our marketing is really cost efficient. Our cost per acquisition on average is 26 cents. It's been as low as 15 cents. And in fact, I would say that we probably should have spent more on marketing to start off with, because we were seeing such a low cost of acquisition. Our CPC was really low. And we were thinking, great, we'll save lots of money. Actually, what we should have done is really front load the marketing cost and brought up the level of DAUs earlier. And I think that's something we'll try with our next games. Because when the CPA is that low, I mean, why not? We should be like in the marketing business. We should be selling our CPAs or something.